Are we live, people? Deluded. I'm back again. Sorry for being muted. First things first, people. I don't know why BT and all these internet people are hating on the guy, little old DG. I know I'm late on the best of days, but the thing that hurts is when I'm late through no fault of his own. I have no clue why my internet's been acting. As soon as I always do, 10, 15 minutes before the lives, I went live. I don't know why it was acting and not letting me do my thing, people. I don't know what was going on. I don't even know how it's working at this moment in time. I just kept clicking the same things. So I apologize for being a few moments late. As the American Gooner who's normally here says, lateness is greatness, people. And obviously, I'm good for it. It's a jam-packed day of content, people. Obviously, nah, Cam, you're good, bro. You're good, bro. You're good. You're good. You're good. You're good. Yeah, obviously, it's a jam-packed day of content. I'm live today at 10 a.m. I'll go live at 11:30. I'm still waiting on Jess from She Knows Arsenal to confirm that today is good, but the last conversation was, perfect. What's the best timings for you regarding them 2 days? Obviously, she said she could do Thursday, yesterday, and today. She said, and yeah, she said 4 to 6. I said 4:30 tomorrow, which would have been yesterday or Friday. Cool. Which one do you prefer? She said Friday's better. Then I said, cool, 4:30 tomorrow. I'll pull it in. Thanks for being up for it. So yeah, obviously you're just waiting on. Let me send one more. Still, let me say morning. Still okay for today. So yeah, that should be obviously in place of the Football Manager content. So yeah, 10 a.m., 11:30, 4:30. And I'm actually gonna do on YouTube though. Again, our 23s are playing in it. Shout out to GL if he's locked in, because every 23s game that's shown on TV, he or Arsenal.com, he's always on me, say, why don't you do watch along? Why don't you do watch along? So it's Arsenal versus Spurs. It's a North London derby. I'm going to be doing a watch along on YouTube of that. Obviously, I actually have not gone into StreamYard and created that yet. So by the time I'm off this, will be lit. I see someone mention, I see Lo, already with the Darwin Núñez thing. And we're going to be speaking about that on YouTube. Again, we were speaking about that on one of the lives earlier, and we've been linked with Darwin Núñez. Now, we getting linked with bare players, is one thing. Actually buying someone is completely different. And especially at this moment in time, I hope Arsenal are dotting I's and crossing T's in relation to who they want or who they want to bring in. But at the same time, we don't know. And really, we just need to focus on the season, and what we've got in the squad is what we've got. Now, throughout the course of this live stream, obviously, we're going to be going over a couple of talking points. We're going to be previewing the Premier League. We're going to be talking about the FA Cup. In relation to the FA Cup, I mean, we can only really speak about who's in the next round. Big up Middlesbrough. There's actually rumors that Balogun is going to go and confirm his eligibility to play for America. Why I've mentioned that, the only relevance is because I've seen Middlesbrough. Obviously, us Arsenal fans, young Flo is there. In relation to the FA Cup, again, should we go over I guess we've seen the results and all those things, but FA Cup, let's just go over these things again if you've been missing midweek, people. Now, throughout the course of the week, obviously, people, you saw Peterborough. In fact, before I carry on, one thing I do like is, I don't want to say the gap between the lower leagues and the Premier League is getting bigger. I mean, is getting smaller, because obviously in many hands it's not. But I think it is in a sense of, these teams are not being hit for cricket scores. I think Bournemouth big up Josh. I done an interview with Josh. He played for Bournemouth against Everton yesterday. Josh Reese. He done quite well. I think Bournemouth held it up. Big up now Ranger getting some minutes, but yeah, they lost 2-0. They held it up. I feel Peterborough made it difficult for Chelsea. Fair enough, Luton are a championship side like Peterborough, so it's not really like that. But I think Luton made it difficult. The teams aren't just rolling over. Now, ultimately, they lost, but you get the point in it. So yeah, throughout the course of the week, and obviously Bournemouth beat Bournemouth as well to get to this stage. So I hope, if nothing more, it was a fantastic moment for the players, because, bro, man played at Goodison Park playing against Premier League footballers. Good day for the club in terms of, I don't know how much money you would make playing away from here, right, versus if it was at home, but I hope some money's been made in going through in the FA Cup. And obviously I hope it was a nice day out for the supporters and all of those things, and the friends and families of everyone connected. But Peterborough lost 2-0 to Manchester City. Crystal Palace, thank God, beat Stoke 2-1. Middlesbrough, again, thank God, beat Tottenham Hotspur a goal to nil. Luton Town, you know, took the lead and it was a dramatic 5-goal thriller. But eventually Chelsea, where if you mention Chelsea, despite the fact that they were in the EFL Cup final, they've won the World Club Cup and World Club Cup and the Champions League recently, you'd probably just be mentioning what's happening off the field. But they won 3-2. We did a watch along. Shout out the Twitch gang, and also make sure you're checking your schedules because, you know, this weekend and next week is a big day for football and content. Again, Saturday, Leeds against Spurs, I think, is the first game. Liverpool, West Ham will be doing that on Twitch. Sunday, Arsenal, Watford will be on YouTube. We come back over to Twitch for the Manchester Derby, City against United. Monday, there's games, I think, Spurs and Everton, Lampard and that. You know, Tuesday and Wednesday's Champions League, Thursday's Europa League, and we go on so on and so forth. So make sure you're following and subscribing on Twitch. Make sure you're following all my socials. Make sure you're checking your schedules, and most importantly, across YouTube and Twitch, setting reminders. You don't set reminders, you're going to do yourself a disservice, people. Really and truly. 1 second, people, because again, on top of being late, I come out the shower not too long ago and I knew something was missing. I can't lie. Before man starts smelling and that, I mean, it's really on two. Of course, obviously, some of you lot's baby mums might be watching. I know to all the baby mums out there, he smells in it. I don't. But yeah, as I was saying, you know, Luton lost to Chelsea, Spurs lost to the bigger club in Middlesbrough, Crystal Palace beat Stoke. So it's been just off those two results alone, to know Stoke and Spurs loss is good enough for me. Big up Luton because you tried. Southampton against West Ham ended 3-1. What a goal it was from their left back. 45 minutes from Borja. Absolutely stressed out Craig Dawson and West Ham as well. You know, Redmond even almost scored a banger. Liverpool took care of business. Standard procedures, 2-1 against Norwich. Minamino making the difference. And to be fair, when it comes to Liverpool versus Norwich, that's probably the most closest scoreline we've seen. And as I said, Everton won 2-0 against Bournemouth, sorry. Man said DG out. Hey, man, you got to keep that for Football Manager, my guy, bro. And, bro, it's 17 minutes past 10. Have you had a shower? Have you brushed your teeth? Have you logged in for work? Have you looked at your emails? Have you gone to the gym? If you've done all of those things, then send for me. If not, Brazy. New manager shirts, bro. Save that for Football Manager, mate. We're talking about real football. Get out of it, eh? And you know what? You're a pagan because you always saluting the thing. You're getting thrown into the same thing as Omar, man. Pagan youths. They love you and then they hate you and then they hate you and then they love you. Day in the life of being a football manager, right? Off to the gym. Big up you, man. You know, I went gym yesterday, so I can base off a bit, but we might have to go again. I'm feeling it, really, if there's time. But yeah, man. And obviously, where the FA Cup's concerned, people, you've got on Monday Nottingham Forest against Huddersfield Town. That hasn't been decided. Fair enough. Talk your shit, my guy. But in relation to the draw, Middlesbrough has been given Chelsea. Southampton will play Manchester City. Crystal Palace will play Everton. Liverpool will play the winners of Nottingham Forest / Huddersfield Town, people. So yeah, we're gonna see what's going on. Once again, Nottingham Forest / Middlesbrough, Nottingham Forest / Huddersfield Town and Liverpool. What? Yeah, Nottingham Forest / Huddersfield Town versus Liverpool, Crystal Palace, Everton, Southampton, Manchester City, Middlesbrough, Chelsea. It's all love, my guy, man. Arteta would have shipped you off to Barca, DG. I don't mind playing under Xavi, playing for Barcelona, sunny Spain. You know, they got CAFs there as well. You know, I think I can get a decent Panini. Wouldn't be so bad. Maybe, you know, Aubameyang always spoke about when he retired, you know, he wants to with troops. So maybe Arteta, in the grand scheme of man management, made that happen already. On a serious note, it's lovely to see Aubameyang enjoying himself again. It's lovely to see us Arsenal fans in relation to game in, game out. We're not talking about it. And I won't say we've moved on, because we still ain't got that striker, but we're getting on with business. And as I said before, one thing I didn't like, I wouldn't say I liked it, but one thing I liked about Aubameyang's one is normally, whether it's been Alexis, Ozil, other little things like that, it's almost like people are setting up camps and things are going on, really. But it's almost, what I liked is this one is kind of, you two are fighting. We love you, Aubameyang. We ride for you, Arteta, but you lot sort out your stuff. We're just going to keep doing what we're doing. If you come to a resolution, cool. If not, it is what it is. Bro, I'd love to be, bro, I can't lie. If I was a young, talented player, I don't think I'd hit my potential if Ronaldinho, Ronaldo, Lima, all them wavy Brazilians are about, man. Are you mad? Like, First thing they got to do is teach me how to do the mess flip flap. Second thing, let's go to let's go for a night out, man. You only live once, man. You know, being all this, bro. Ronaldo ain't enjoying himself, bro. You know, I'd rather be like Ronaldinho. Obviously, Ronaldinho continued playing past it, you know, way too long, but I'd rather it be short. Ronaldo's there, you know, man's 54 years of age, bro. He's messing up there with Man United, and that it's long, fam. Big up D man as well. Still can't forgive you for not being an Arsenal fan, but large up your take. So yeah, away from that FA Cup, what other things have we got to speak about, people? Let's start closing tabs because there's enough of them. N'Golo Kante admits Chelsea players were not prepared for the Roman Abrahmovich shock announcement that he wanted to sell the club, but urges his teammates to focus on football because it's the only thing we can control, which is true. More importantly, with Chelsea people connected to Chelsea, again, I listen, I love football, but I feel like I'm talking about Abramovich way too much. Swiss billionaire Hans Wurg Weiss and LA Dodgers owner Todd whatever tried to buy Chelsea for 1 billion less than what Roman is after, which is crazy because obviously it's business, isn't it? If Roman wants 2 billion, then fair plays. I think he's allowed to do that. I don't think he'll get free with what's going on, with the pressures, with the fact that probably need to upgrade the stadium, you know, with the fact of, you know, it's business, isn't it? If you know Roman can sell it for less, why would you? You know, I think 2 billion's fair, really and truly, for Chelsea. Essentially, you're investing in real estate, if I'm honest with you, which Chelsea is, and they've actually got hotels. Obviously, it's the Champions League holders right now, so we'll see what's going on. If the only thing that would scare me is this consortium thing, if I was a Chelsea fan, but yeah, man, I listen. I'm just waiting to sit here and say Mike Ashley has thrown his hat into the ring, as I keep saying. His asking price is believed to be 3 billion. You know, the businessmen could work together to buy Chelsea. It's understood they may end up paying just 2 billion. Chelsea have been assured by the government that the club can continue to operate even if Roman Abramovich is sanctioned, as negotiations over the club's quick sale intensified on Thursday. That might give a position of strength to Roman as well. You sanction me, you're not necessarily sanctioning the club. But anyways, you know, they're preparing to table a bid after forming a consortium aimed at buying the club, but the group are not willing to meet the asking price. Abramovich rejected an offer of 2.2 billion 3 years ago, but the Russian was not an active seller at the time, and obviously he now is, people. What was the result of the last prediction? I don't know, man, but we can pre that in a sec, man. So yeah, people, and obviously MPs are forcing him to try and get things done. Apparently, Abramovich's desperation to sell was made evident by his extraordinary public statement on Wednesday and his willingness to write off a 1.5 billion debt at the club, people, loan to the club, really. These are the only known bidders at the time. But yeah, people, you know, and who are the potential suitors? You know, co-founder and chair of Insurance Investors. You know, he has a stake in Los Angeles Lakers and the Dodgers. You know, he previously weighed up buying Spurs, but it didn't bang. You know, and then you've got the 86-year-old Swiss Donny, you know, metal plates and broken bones, and he sold the firm to Johnson & Johnson. He has no experience in sport management, and his consortium might, why is this? I don't know. This is blocking whatever it's saying, people. Might involve 6 or 7 people, so many chefs getting involved. Really and truly, it's brazy. It's absolutely brazy. It's absolutely brazy. You know, and this is what's going on. Boy, you know, Master said it's the right decision. This girl said this lady, sorry, said it's unfair that he has to do that. And we'll run up them things in a second. In fact, if we switch over, because you have to sadly do it this way. If we switch over to my Athletic tab, I mean my Safari tab, if it will open, here we go. Where is the Abramovich thing? Here we go. It's not fair for Abramovich to have the football club taken away. Amanda Staveley, you know, who just basically bought Newcastle, has said it's not particularly fair that Roman Abramovich may have to sell Chelsea amid Russia's ongoing invasion of Ukraine. She also claimed there's absolutely not any prospect of Saudi Arabia committing acts that could see the country hit with similar sanctions imposed on Russia. People, let's just scroll down. Let's just scroll down to exactly what she said. We are going to have geopolitical issues. This world is never going to not have problems. And I know it's really hard, and I'm really sad today that someone is going to have a football club taken away because of a relationship they may have with someone. I don't think that is absolutely fair, actually, to be honest. Fair enough. Fair enough. And she's obviously gone on to say the relationship with the Saudis are not, that a mad thing is not going to happen, really and truly. Moving away from that, apparently UEFA are the greatest enemy to domestic leagues that exist, says Steve Parish. Now, I don't really have much time for Steve Parish. I think he's a bit like Piers Morgan, and Gary Neville is nothing like Piers Morgan, but I think they all share the same, the same sort of thing, in that they're all self-fulfilling vacuums. They're in love with the sound of their own voices, and they're always right, and they're just they're just ultimately, when you strip away the suits and the status, they're just extremely free, very insecure men with a lot of money, and just think the world, well, more so you and Piers Morgan than Gary Neville, that their shit don't stink. But one, I'll give him his credit. He normally is on point with a lot of things, people. The co-owner of Crystal Palace has accused UEFA of being the greatest enemy to domestic leagues that exist, people. He said, I wish 10% of the scrutiny that was shone on the Premier League and the governance in the UK was shone on the governance in UEFA. To hear this morning, Mr. Seferin paint UEFA as a savior of football and a supporter of fans was quite incredible. He's 100% right. And again, when you look at the Super League, he was acting like he gave a fuck. If you ask pretty much every football club in Europe outside the gilded 20 that are in the ECA, most people would tell you UEFA are the greatest enemy to domestic leagues that exist. You have a completely, I don't know that word, executive committee. You've got people on it from individual clubs with far too much say and far too much pressure. That's probably put at PSG. You've got the ECA, which is 20 clubs that decide everything. You have a tournament in the new Champions League proposals that look so much like the Super League that you can't tell the difference. And he's right. And it goes back to the Super League that, these UEFAs and Premier Leagues and these guys, they weren't telling you it's bad because they think it's bad and they care about the integrity of the game. They had ulterior motives. You've got to be very careful of wolves in sheep's clothing in this life, and people giving with one hand and taking with the other, which I think all of these individuals do. And there's another. Let's remove that poll. What's going on there? Scrolling all the way down. He's right. Yeah, like I said, when he's bang on. I can't cap. In fact, in some regards, it is worse. There's probably one thing myself and Mr. Anginelli can agree on, is that clubs should run tournaments and the governing body of the game should govern the game. I think while we've got this interlocking where FIFA, UEFA, the people in charge of fighting domestic leagues for the calendar, there's nobody over the top of it to govern and regulate it. Then I think we are in trouble. I think we are sleepwalking into it while Mr. Seferin picks all our pockets, which is true. He uses the Super League as this nasty, terrible thing that he managed to stop. Frankly, he was part of making something happen in coefficient, with 40% of the money being decided by your last 5 years of history. He was already pulling the drawbridge up. Facts, and more facts. When he talks about the tournament being extended from 32 to 36 teams, is he included in the teams that I traditionally, when I was a youngster, saw in the Champions League? No, he's trying to give 2 more places to people he thinks will provide the most media revenue to him in any given year. You guys have to start looking in the right places where football is being led astray. I actually think over the last couple of years, a couple of weeks, we've seen that they didn't act in the right way immediately over what happened in Ukraine, neither FIFA nor UEFA, because they're not used to that kind of scrutiny. They got away with it, frankly, most of the time. Boy, I'd be happy if I saw this. And one thing I like, obviously, sanctions are sanctions, but this just showed you UEFA, FIFA, everybody else, they can bring changes. They can put pressure. They can fuck with finances and make people want to stop certain things if they wanted to. They never wanted to for racism. But he's right. Keeping up the theme with Russia to appeal against football ban imposed by FIFA and UEFA. Now, everything's affecting Russians. Like Russian businessmen, Russian footballers, they're onto you. And even, I don't know why Sainsbury's would do it, but you can't even, apparently, they're taking Russian standard vodka off the shelves. Okay, you're going to have to, what are you going to do with the stock eventually? You're going to sell it. You're just capping. Like, it is what it is, really and truly. What's this? Ukraine asked FIFA to postpone World Cup playoff against Scotland, which, for obvious reasons, we all hope that is a thing, people. Usmanov has been hit by UK government sanctions over Russia-Ukraine invasion. Once again, these are all designed at pressuring these guys to put pressure on Putin. But they all, Putin and his team clearly saw this was happening. As stated, Middlesbrough are through to the quarterfinals and we've given to Chelsea. Premier League confident Russian TV deal review will be completed by next weekend. The Premier League is confident a review of Russian television deal will be completed by next weekend. It's understood the top flight is confident it will likely be out of their existing agreement by next weekend, with games still being shown. So you're right to take Russian money. Where do you draw the lines? Big up my guy, man. Big up my guy RDF Tactics, one of the best football manager content creators about, man. Go and do up his Twitter and his Twitch and his YouTube and the rest of it. He's a good guy. And he's from my neck of the woods, unfortunately. You know, I say unfortunate because he's from Tottenham, and you know, what do we think of Tottenham? Says it all. But yeah, this is what I mean by when you look beneath the hood. Now, again, do I necessarily think Russian or Ukrainian football lovers should be punished and not able to watch the game? Of course, but this tells you salary first, conscience later, on what they'll look at and do with one hand and act like it's solidarity and conscience and, you know, them things over money. They'll do things like this. They don't care. A lot of these people do not care. They do not give a shit. But allegedly, it's going to be reviewed by the weekend. What shall be, shall be. I'm not going to read the whole article, but you look at it, you could just see money, man. They're not giving up on $8.2 million per year. That's a myth. They don't give a flip, people. I was reading that, and I ain't going to bore you lot with that. But the final thing on the Athletic, people, again, you telling me, you know, a guy who was technically not convicted because it wasn't in a criminal court, but in the other court, he did the racist. I mean, not the racist. He did the rapist thing. No one would think bringing in a rapist, and even at a football team, is a bad idea. But then again, football, you can be a rapist, you can be a domestic abuser, you could just do bare fuckery and still be about, as seen with Ryan Giggs, as seen with my man, as seen many a time, really and truly. And there's many other individuals, you know, people that, you know, how many times were people that were doing sexual abuse to minors hidden? How many now you're seeing them come up? Now you're seeing historically rape cases and sexual abuse and racism cases and the rest of it, people. But as we know, long story short, this guy was convicted at 21 years of age. He then tried to join one team. It didn't bang. You know, Rafe Rovers, again, he got caught, you know, there was a lot of backlash. He tried to go back to CLYDE on loan. CLYDE never thought this was a bad idea. They have now announced they are in the process of terminating the loan agreement for David Goodwillie. They have said the club are tonight in the process of terminating the loan agreement with Rafe Rovers for David Goodwillie. The news obviously comes after, you know, CLYDE ladies players quit the club in mass after obviously this rapist rejoined. Again, it says a lot. You know, it says a lot about your views on women, you know, because I'd imagine, you know, some of these people, the owner of the club, whatever, they've got wives. This tells me you don't care about your wife, how your wives, how these players, how your daughters, anyone that you're connected, aunties, etc. You don't care. You just saw the fact that this player might be able to help you because he's got footballing ability or whatever. But as I said, technically, you know, he's been ruled as a rapist. He's not a convicted rapist because, and not that I'm defending, man, but that's what it is. You know, it was the first civil rape case of its kind in Scotland. He was ruled to be a rapist and ordered to pay criminal damages. He never faced a criminal trial over the rape claim. However, after prosecutors said there was not enough evidence, respectfully, rape is not something that you can mess around with, you know. Evidence, not if you know you didn't do that, civil court or whatever court, brother, are you gonna let them rule you as that? You're gonna fight all the way, and you definitely ain't paying no damages. But all right, fair enough. You know, fuckery will be fuckery, wouldn't it, people? So that's that, man. Let's start getting into just football, man, because just gonna turn us all mad and spoil our weekend and all of these sort of things, people. Again, let me look at some of these articles. Again, we might as well look at some of the footballing. Now, there was a lot said about Ben White and Varane. Now, for what it's worth, Varane is 30, you know, when they're taking Captain Morgan off the shelves. Brother, half of this is the thing. If they wanted to do all of that, some of them will say this and then they'll, you know, other things that have been in place, you know, whether it's food ethics or other things going around the world, you know, they'll still nonsense. They'll still have their fancy designer clothes from sweatshops. But yeah, Varane, a lot of people are saying something about Varane. I think Varane is 30. He's just, your level is going to drop when you play with duds. You know, anyone that's played Sunday League football, when you join a shit team, you start becoming part of the calacities. Exactly. China. Again, forget that. You see, and where did China get it? Because if anything, you know, the people of Congo should be some of the richest alive. Half of our phones are built with Congo. So this is, you know, where do you draw the line? But yeah, man, I think Varane is a better player than Ben White. Ben White's doing a lot better. Ben White has a lot to do to get to Varane's level. That being said, I'm happy with Ben White. A lot was being said about 50 million. Do I think he's quite justified that price tag? Do I think he's got a lot to learn? Of course, this is his second year in the Premier League. And as I like his composure on the ball, I like how he carries it out. I like how he fits in. You can see why Arteta brought him. I like how he can grow in stature and develop in that. I wouldn't say he's the captain, but I like how for me, he's got leadership qualities. And I saw that from pre-season. Still got a lot of rough edges, as all the defenders. If you're watching Saliba at Marseille, he does dumb shit at times. You know, Ben White's giving away a penalty, and at times he's done dumb shit. Gabriel done something stupid against Wolves, but this is what's going to happen. They're learning. They're not all the way there yet. I remember Varane used to do silly stuff playing for Madrid. I remember in one World Cup, he got absolutely bullied at a set piece by Hummels. But these things make you. You know, it's the same way you can't waffle about someone like Balogun having potential and then be surprised he looks out of his depths when he's playing Premier League sides, or, you know, yet to score in 8 games, only got 18 career appearances, including the 8 he's now got on loan at Middlesbrough to his name. Can you really expect much? But let's see. I wouldn't necessarily say Ben White has silenced his critics, because you know how football works. Rather, a lot of people will hold their hands up and say I was wrong. A lot of people are talking nonsense. Would Ben White start for Spuds? I'll leave you to answer that. I mean, you know, Romero's good, but Balogun ripped him. I think he starts for Spurs. Brother, they got Davies and Sanchez and fuckery like that, especially if they're playing 3 at the back. Ben Davies is starting at centre half. Allow it, man. Yeah, Ben White starts at he starts at United as well right now. So, hey, and personally, I'm not saying all of them should start for England, but if the England squad was drawn up tomorrow, I think, Ramsdale and Ben White, I know they're in the Euro squad, but I don't think Southgate really respects their team. Them two, Saka, Smith Rowe, all definitely have to be called up, man. Moving away from any of that, though, people, let's see what's going on. I still think the jury's out, because, there's going to be tough moments. In the same way that you're going through good form, you're going to go through bad form. But yeah, he's all you can do is play well and silence critics. Gallas, who I don't care what Gallas has to say, and I'm sure a lot of people, I'm not taking it from you, you used to have one shit perm, bro. You leave the only IC3 that can perm their hair and do a wavy thing in football is Jogba. You leave it alone. You was a shit captain. You had shit hair. You were just shit, man. Gallas could tell me the sky is blue, and I'm now going to fight as to why it's red. It's difficult for me to understand why Arsenal spent 50 million on one player who is yet to prove himself at the top level. To be fair, all right, that's a legitimate claim. Solid grounding on loan, but 1 full season in the Prem. We know there's English tax, but if the club wanted to do the thing, it is what it is. At the same time, Manchester United can spend around 40 million on Rafael Varane, who won the World Cup and has 4 Champions Leagues. You have to explain to me how it's possible. You can't compare Ben White and Varane. I'm sorry, it's not possible. Of course, Ben White could only dream of doing what Varane's done in the game, and that should be a guide point, really. But I don't know why the two are being compared. The situations weren't the same. The whole outlay on Varane is not what's being said, really. When you factor in wages and the true cost, you can't compare Ben White and Varane. I'm sorry, that's true. But, if I'm a United fan, I don't give a fuck what Ben White's doing. If I'm an Arsenal fan, which I am, I don't give a shit what Varane's doing, really and truly. You talk about Varane, they spent 80 million on Maguire. How's that working out? I'm pretty sure that we're going to get into Maguire in a second. It looks long for him, really. But it is what it is. And no, it's not because he's a fellow Frenchman that I'm talking like this. He comes from Real Madrid. He didn't come from Brighton. And that's true. Everyone's got to start somewhere, man. Gallas never made the Mohican. But Gallas never made man do it. Definitely not on that coon thing that he was doing. And they're all duds if they joined the market. Boy, I'm happy that I never did that. Boy. I came roast them times anyways. Ben White has been a key target this summer. We know Edu said that. I mean, Charles Watts, is this just there's got to be something to this. Arteta allegedly said last month he's improved a lot in a lot of things. I'm telling you, watch him train every day. You'd be amazed. I think he's playing a final every day in training. That's what we want from our players, because when it comes to competing, that's when you're going to be ready. The Love Island Cannavaro, madman. White and Gabriel were first paired together for the first time against Norwich September the 11th. They, we went into that game bottom of the table. And, since then, we've kept 11 clean sheets in 21 games. Only Liverpool and City have done more, which is a good base. But I wouldn't say we're an improved defensive side. We're getting a good level, but I wouldn't say we're a good defensive side, because we still concede cheap goals and we still switch off. And even at games we've kept clean sheets, even I go back to the Newcastle and Norwich games. Them games could have went left for us. The very things that happened in the Brentford game, and things like that could have happened in that game. And I think that's where Arsenal fans need to apply balance. You need to just watch games for what they are. Don't just waffle negatively when we lose. Don't just get excited when we win. You take the rough and the smooth, because we're a mixed team. There's going to be mixed performances, really and truly. Shout out Ben White, because I'm liking what he's having. The only thing, as much as I like it, I want Saliba to come next season and complicate things, really. But it is what it is. Ben White has big personality and he has the courage to play, to make decisions, to step in front. When he's not feeling 100% good, he still wants to train every day, and he does it like the best. In the long run, that takes you in a nice place. Not just a pretty face and a nice and a model-looking dude. You and Odegaard are on this. Pause. Ben White is where he is today because of everything he's done in the past few months. To achieve, it's not a coincidence. It's the work that he puts in every single day. A look at White's statistics so far just show how important he is. And, and again, we need a midfielder, but I remember looking myself, when it comes to progression and the ball forward, he's there, him and Gabriel. And then you find Xhaka and whatnot. Trust me, Ben Red, 100%. Ben White quietly going about his business, collecting clean sheets. Big upgrade on David Luiz. And one thing I'll give Arteta, bro, there's no coincidence. You play the same man. They build relationships. We look a bit better. As much as you need different options and to rotate, you need stability, really and truly. So obviously there was probably injuries, other things were happening that were why Arteta was doing these things last season. But I don't think it's a coincidence. You play the same man. Again, anyone that's played Sunday League, if you're a fullback and you play with certain centre halves, you start to understand them, your keeper, your relationship with your winger, how the winger links up with the 10 and everything else. We're seeing a bit more. What's the word that Arteta says? Synergy and them things there. And what's another word Arteta says? Transmitting. There's no relevance of saying that. It's just, if we're going Arteta's buzzwords, we got to spray something. Nobody in the Arsenal team has clocked up more than 2,378 minutes, and he's played all comps. Fair enough, because he spent 50 mil. There shows that there's a use for him. Like everyone, legitimately in the summer, I wasn't against any of the signings. I was happy on Odegaard. But, it was a legitimate one that we were sitting there to us fans that, are we significantly better? Where to the club, we're going back to basics. They've identified who they've identified. Fair play. And, we are going to get signings wrong, but you spent 50 million. The jury's still out. Looks good. Ramsdale definitely had a lot of criticism. Looks good. Tavares needs to learn, but looks like he could do a thing. Lokonga, I think his stock's kind of fallen a bit, but I still believe in Lokonga. He's still young and that. Lokonga and anyone else I've missed out. Odegaard, Tomiyasu, it needs no introduction. So, yeah, defensively, he ranks first for interceptions, second for headed clearances, second for aerial duels, third for clearances. That's what I want to see. And obviously, as I said, bringing out the ball in relation to the modern game, he's doing that as well. And I can't lie, I have to give him an Emre credit for this, because he set, I know it's a different back five, but he set the groundwork for our whole culture changing, specifically with playing out the back. I remember he used to get slewed for it. Obviously, Arteta's taking it to a new level when things are happening. One thing I like about, I was watching some of our goals from this season. I can't lie, man. This is why I'm onto Arteta, because if you just get a midfielder that's levels, we could cook. Have you seen, like, we lost the City, but did man see the City goal? Like the move that ended up with Saka scoring, or the Southampton thing, or what led to Saka's banger against Norwich. And there's bare other examples. I'm liking to see it, man. I'm liking the building blocks. Got a long way to go, of course, but it's moving good in it, really and truly. Anyways, yeah, he averages 54 passes per 90, which we need a ball playing centre back. That's cool, really and truly. White is often seen driving out from the defensive line. Obviously, there's a lot he needs to improve on, but yeah, man. We brought Ben because we believe he can be extraordinary. Imagine hearing your manager talk about it like that. He has the ability to break lines and to progress the ball the way we want. But first of all, he needs to defend. And I think he's doing that really, really well. Of course, he's made some errors and things. He's not going to be the finished article. This is his second season as a Premier League footballer. This is his first at Arsenal, at a team that is unlearning a lot of bad habits and relearning defending. We're relearning how to defend. I've seen mistakes happen, but I've seen Ben White do some dumb shit. And whenever he gave away the penalty, it was coming. Gabriel has brain farts. The Wolves one was coming, Cedric has switched off. Tomiyasu has even switched off. Odegaard is switched off. Tavares is switched off. And many more. This is just the level we're at. We need to get these things out, people. So yeah, hail up Ben White's thing. That's him. Obviously, let me make a separate timestamp, man, because my Arsenal fans, I got to look after you lot, man. Any chance to gas our players, I'm there on the front line, people, really and truly. So let's set that at 0-0. What was that about? If that, sorry, people. Google Docs calls. Slap that there. What minute did we probably start that? Let's say 40. It looks like a decent number. and White value for money. Just call it that. But yeah, back to where we're going, people. I don't even know why that was there, but it was an interesting read, weren't it? Really and truly. Real interesting read, man. You taking Chalobah. What, the Chelsea one? For the squad, why not? For the squad, why not? You know, he can play in midfield, he can play at fullback, he can play at centre half, he can play in the back three. Why not, man? Felt for the first time we didn't know our best 11. Now there's stability in certain positions. Exactly. And what I like is, obviously, if form drops, we've seen Tavares come in. You know, I'm not really the biggest fan of Cedric, but it looks like Tomiyasu might not be back for Watford then, because he's not in the, if we go off the training pictures. I know, you know, we gave it to Cedric when he's playing shit against Sunderland, rightly so. So when you're doing well, like in your last 3 games, I hail you up. So obviously there's chopping and changing, but I think we've got a back 5. For me, you need a back 5. You need stability in it. Defense wins you titles, strikers win you games. We haven't quite got a striker, but we're seeing building blocks, you know. Even a couple, as much as I just waffled about some of our goals, you know, they were, who was it? What game was it? I can't remember it in it. I can't remember it, but Martinelli scored. It was basically in 3 touches. I don't remember who it was, but Lacazette's assisted him. You know, Lacazette's dropped deep. Martinelli's ran from out to in, and then he's finished in 2 touches. 1 touch to set himself. He's opened his body up on Henry-esque. I just needed to hold that one up, people. But yeah, there's stability. You know, so we're looking better playing out from the back. There's building blocks in our final third. I just feel we need to certify what we're doing in midfield, because I do think we're a bit more rounded, but we're still a very left-hand centric side. I feel our midfield still can't really break down low blocks. I feel in moments in the game we go against it, but typically I'm still seeing my wavy players have to drop far too deep, like Odegaard, and Odegaard's got the double shed because he's going out to the right hand side as well, where things are not really popping like that, like the left hand side. So I do think that starts with a number 8. I personally feel we've got a first choice 9. And what I mean by that is, you know, if I was, you know, this time next season, I would expect to see Ramsdale, Tierney, Tomiyasu, Ben White, and Gabriel. Let's put an asterisk next to Saliba if he earns it. Thomas Partey, Martin Odegaard, a space left in midfield. So that's you know, you get it. That's one spot. And then obviously, you know, the wingers, Saka, Martinelli, Smith Rowe, whatever you want. And then there's an asterisk up front. So I feel we have a first choice 9, not quite the 11. Aubameyang's allegedly reborn at Barca. I'm happy for it, man. I'm happy that Arsenal can move on. I'm happy that you're enjoying yourself. You're living a movie, playing for a big club, Mid and final third, exactly, still needs work, man. We have moments, but exactly, we don't take fully control. And that's, for me, you know, where we need to go better, because you look at the Brentford game, first 20 minutes should have been dusted, really, you know. And I do think we see a better Smith Rowe, Odegaard, all these guys when you get that number 8. And like you said, we're breaking down teams a bit better in the highlights. It looks good, but it still needs a lot of work. We, you know, you look at Burnley, you look at half the teams. If you was going against Arsenal, if you go 2 banks of 4, you kind of remain rigid. You've got half a chance. So we need to learn that. And for me, especially when we play teams where we're kind of shook, I do think a number 8 that can, you know, I'm not saying Kovacic is amazing, but just he's the best example. Someone that wants to hold on to the ball, win couple fouls, drive you further up the field. You know, and I just feel our midfield, you know, Xhaka and Partey have been all right, but I'd describe their season as a bit hit and miss. Like, even when, I can't remember the time, but when we was on a little bit of form, we were still looking and saying, the midfield, and I still think, you know, they individually they breed mixed results. Together they breed mixed results, and that's why we're there. I want a bit more in midfield, if I'm honest with you. Who would you give February Player of the Month for us? I'd say Odegaard, you know. I'd say Odegaard. I don't think he gets his fair dues when you talk about man with potential and all of these sort of things, where, you know, we all know Saka, Smith Rowe, Martinelli, they're all wavy, but I don't think Odegaard gets his fair dues. I don't think fans, fair enough, it weren't like a new signing per se, because obviously he was here on loan, but I said you could go back to my videos on YouTube. I don't know why fans weren't gassed about Odegaard. 30 million. Arsenal have done a lot of, pardon my French, dumb shit with transfers. 30, forget it, Odegaard waffling about him being a good player. He's a fantastic footballer. But 30 million, you know, I was excited. And for me, well, Arsenal selling players is very difficult, and we still need to learn how to do it. So I don't know if this is going to make sense. But for me, if Odegaard, if Ramsdale, if Tavares, if Lokonga, everybody that we brought in apart from Ben White because he cost 50 million, Tomiyasu, if these guys went wrong, we should be able to bring our money, get our P's back and things like that. Hello, G. Nottingham Forest sensation Spence leading the race for Spurs. Apparently Bayern Munich on to him. I don't know how much we want a right back, I think we need a backup right back. But if Saliba's played there and can play there, but if you go on the Nice game, allow it. If Saliba comes back, Ben White's ability to go right back might just be a thing. He might just do that. And again, as much as I love Tommy, as you see, football's a squad game. You start overplaying, man. They're injured at this time. So maybe Ben White will do a job like he did for Leeds and Brighton at times at fullback. And that will say, that would say, all right, cool, let's not bring in the next one. We can put the money that we put aside allegedly to get in a backup right back. We might be able to throw a bit more pennies on getting an elite striker. Assuming we, by God's grace, we get Champions League, there's extra P's. Don't forget, 11:30, we'll be talking about our links with Darwin Núñez. But yeah, man, Aubameyang's back to his form. He's been reborn. Shout out Xavi, because they're starting to bot, man. Xavi said in 2020, Aubameyang can kill you in open space, but Barcelona needs players who know how to move in small spaces. And I mean, I can't lie, I think Barcelona, the Adama Traore's, Aubameyang, people like that, I think they're just grabbing them because they can help them up until a point. I think once Barcelona get back to a smidgen of what they used to be, then I think you'll see a bit more cultured players. Saying that, flipping elbow, we could be here the whole live stream waffling about Pedri. Baller. Gavi, baller. Fatty. I'm scared for Fatty because I don't want injuries to shake him, but baller. And obviously you got Arojo, you've got Nico, you've got a couple of other La Masia ones. I can't believe not one of our players was nominated by the Premier League for the award. But our other Donny was, in Arteta. That Pablo Torre guy, there's going to be nobody left to buy in Football Manager if they grab him. Apparently he wants Barcelona over Real Madrid. Must be nice. Obviously, Aubameyang had failed to score in his last 6 games before leaving the Emirates. He missed AFCON because of COVID, and there was issues around behavior and whatnot. It's all going wrong, people. And for me, the thing that I'm upset the most about is he just left without 100 goals, man. 91 goals in 162, bro. 9 more goals. The romantic in me wanted him to get back into this form you see at his new club at Arsenal, but it wasn't meant to be, people. He contracted malaria. Unfortunately, his mum got in issues as well. And yeah, I'm sure he's happy. He's probably nearer to his mum. She speaks Spanish. He's close to his grandparents. He's enjoying his life. Go and enjoy yourself, Aubameyang, man. So Aubameyang, it seems like you've put Xavi's problems to rest. It seems like he's pressing well. He's doing what he needs to do. He bagged the hat trick, people. And he's doing his thing. But I think this article's a bit of a shag. He turns 33. Doesn't look like he's going to struggle in that regard. What is all of this about? Why did Messi have to leave? Ronald Koeman questions Barcelona's motives following Ferran Torres transfer. Koeman's been chatting. He said he's been saying a lot. He's saying Xavi got more time than me, this, that, and the third. Boy, you was a dud. You was a dud at Everton. You only got the job because you was a club-led Barcelona legend. A bit like why Lampard got the Chelsea job. You never got it on sporting merit, car. You're not 30 like that to be getting it on sporting merit. If Marina becomes available, would you go for her? If she wants to stay in London and work at Arsenal, I would, but it all depends. What is she going to do, What is her actual role? I don't mind booting out Edu and letting her do this thing because she won't take anything, really. Koeman said it was at the insistence of the club management that I agreed to the departure of some players to put the finances in order. But then you see that they go and sign Ferran Torres shortly after letting Messi go. Then you wonder if there was something else going on. Why did Messi have to leave? And obviously these lot came back. I can't lie. Ronald Koeman, where are your comments, man? You was so chatty. We need to see them comments. Where is it, man? He said so. He said so much. Here are some other comments, people. He said, they didn't give me the time they gave the new coach Xavi. It's still painful for me. I was working with many injured players in my final months, but now Pedri is back to full fitness. And big up you for busting Pedri. Him against Juventus was mad. Dembele too. You can see how important those players are. Every coach needs time and patience from the board. He told me, Laporte, he told me 1,000 times that Xavi would not be his coach because he lacked experience, but he needed a shield, someone to hide behind. You won't see me at the Camp Nou for a while. I can't do that. With this president, I cannot pretend that nothing has happened. I was not Laporte's coach. I had the feeling from the very first moment. after the elections, there was no click between us. He sounds hurt, like his wife cheated on him or something. That necessary support from above that any coach needs was not there for me. The important thing was not money for me. I really wanted to succeed as a coach at Barcelona, to do everything I could, but I realized that Laporte wanted to get rid of me because I was not appointed by him. Wait. And in relation to the Dani Alves's, Ferran Torres, Adamas, etc., he said, I would have liked them too, but I'm happy for the club since now things are going better, and for the players too. It's nice to see Frankie de Jong play good old-fashioned football. He has such quality. Boy. And he's also not thingy. He's also, Barcelona sit fourth, people, and are through to this last 16 in Europa League. He's also not went on to rule out a move in the summer to do something, people. I mean, he just sounds mad salty. He's not just sounding salty, man. Just move on. It didn't bang. Just move on, really and truly. What more can you say, man? Just hold it up, really and truly. Koeman's a victim of Barcelona politics. He is, but man signed up for that, man. They respect Xavi's done it all. Of course, he's part of the politics. Xavi will be part of the politics. Pep Guardiola was part of the politics. RIP Tito Villanova, he's part of the politics. Anyone is gonna. Barcelona is a club filled of politics. It's a club that is one for the people and all them sort of things. It's like Madrid. There's always gonna be politics, but fundamentally, you were shit, Koeman. Like you bust Pedri, that's about it. But you was shit. Like respectfully. Let's call it dud. I can't tell a man he's not allowed to feel these ways. Like there might be some legitimate concerns, but no one put a gun to your head. You knew Barcelona weren't 30, really and truly. Pedri got injured because of Koeman. He was starting every game because his personal vengeance with Peak. But Ricky Peaks is not learning from Sergi Sampa. He needs to keep it moving, man. To be fair, the PK went and scored the other day, man. So fair play to him, really and truly. Ben White quietly going about his business, collecting clean sheets, few shaky moments, big upgrade on Ben White, on David Luiz. You're right. Seems a bit weak at times, but overall 7 out of 10 so far, I'd say, this season. Fair play. Can't disagree with that, really. Can't disagree with that. Obviously, from 130 centre-half to a shit one, really, Harry Maguire, didn't deserve that. I don't even think you're a bad centre back. I just think you're, if Man United how it should be in my eyes as a non-United supporting as a non-supporting Man United guy, you're a squad don, nothing more. You're never the captain. You can do the leading as much as you want and that, but you're never a captain. You're never bought for 80 million. You're never given the captaincy after 2 minutes of being there. I could actually understand why, because it's more of a damning sort of verdict on where Man United are as a football club. But allegedly his future at Manchester United will be under the microscope. I mean, every day away from his form, he's subject to question marks, really. There was talk of the captaincy getting dipped from him to go to Ronaldo, but it is what it is. But he's under the microscope as they chase world-class centre-backs, allegedly, following claims his teammates are questioning his place in the side. They want Araujo, whose contract situation is at Barca. Rudiger, I mean, if you want to get paid, you can get paid at United, and you can not join another big club than that. Harry Maguire's future at Manchester United will come under even greater scrutiny in the summer, with the club planning to sign a world-class centre-back. More doubts have emerged over his form and consistency on Thursday. There's claims his fellow teammates are questioning why he continues to be picked. I think Lindelof deserves to be picked. Every time I've watched Lindelof, he's done all right. And I hail up the United fans in the chat, because some of you were saying that. And I remember I asked you, why do you think that? Not that I think, just to know what's going on at United. And I saw it, really. Not that Lindelof's anything to write home about, but I mean, to be fair to Maguire, his celebration's messed though. His knee slide's kind of epic. I can't even lie. More doubts over his captaincy. I mean, I think he takes everything in his stride, but every man has a breaking point, really and truly. He was rested for the goalless draw with Watford. Well, I know United didn't win, but Lindelof and someone else in defence, clean sheet. Fair play. Ranić has been supportive of him. I mean, he's not going to draw him out too much in the public. It's not going to help anybody, really and truly. Rudiger could be an option if he doesn't agree a new contract at Chelsea. And you'd imagine contract talks at Chelsea, I don't know if they've been affected, but, Rudiger, Christensen, all these guys, surely there's a question mark over it. Do you want to sign a new deal? Chelsea might change, does the new owner might come in and tear up the contracts that's been agreed, really? I don't know what's going on. So yeah, it's listed them. Apparently, you know, Bailly and Jones look like they're gone. It seems like Lindelof might be the only survivor, people. And obviously, United have to decide, do they want to take a hit? Did they just make him a squad player like, you know, Chelsea did with Kepa? Because 80 million, you'll be lucky to get an English premium or not. I think they could twang someone and get half of that back, but you'd have to really, even 40 million might be a bit too steep for Harry Maguire, you know, maybe a loan. Is that Aspilicueta with a beard on? Right. These doppelgangers, man, it looks like a Aspilicueta with a beard. I forgot the footballer. You look like Loftus-Cheek here, Ronald, man. Anyways, yeah, man. Apparently, the players are privately questioning Maguire's place in the team and believes his performances are not up to standard. Sportsmail understands Maguire has upset a number of teammates this season by openly blaming them on the pitch for making mistakes. I mean, he seems like one of them, man. You know, we all know them dons. They got the ball. There's a million, but they could have played a pass 10 years ago. We all played with them in five-a-side. They're trying to do a mad pass. They get finesse, and then, like the true duds they utter the words that every dud does. Where's the fucking options? There was options. You trying to do things above your pay grade. You know, we all been through them. You get man like Aubameyang in the changing room. You get people that just do their jobs. You get the Tierney's, and you get these Maguires and Lallanas, these guys that become the teacher's pet and start trying to draw man out. I can understand, but with United and the players away from Maguire, it feels like a lot of them are acting, because every time I sit here and talk about United, they're not happy with Ranić, they're not happy with the old coach, they're not happy with Ronaldo, they're not happy with this, they're not happy with that. You know, some men are probably hiding behind Maguire and hiding their own duddery. You know, he's not the only guy. Like, sometimes even if you're captain, you need to be dropped 100%. Maguire is a hype Lewis Dunk. Bro, McGregor is capping. He knows he can't do this thing, man. You know, the money ain't long enough to be buying Chelsea. You know, you might be able to be the face of some bookie consortium thing, but you need to shout some millionaires. That's a different sort of playground. Like, buying a football club. United and Harry Maguire have dismissed speculations over power struggle between the former Hull player and Cristiano Ronaldo, with Ranić insisting that his captain will keep the armband until the end of the season to save face. I mean, boy, it's looking peak, innit? If we start looking at some transfers, Marino Granovska Marino of Chelsea is unlikely to stay. Apparently, Paulo Ferreira has left his role as loan manager or something like that. Key Chelsea chiefs unlikely to stay on post Abrahmovich sale. So is there not going to be a sort of gardening leave for the Bruce Brooks, the Marinas, and all of these guys to see the structural changes? I don't know. But according to The Guardian, you know, Bruce Buck and Marino are gone. So that could be a blow for Chelsea and what they want to do in the market. Eddie Howe's to discuss a new contract with Fabian Sarr, better yet. I mean, Sky Sports haven't exactly got the best. Let's go to this paper talk stuff. This is better yet. We've spoken about Maguire. Derby just going through broke people problems once again. UEFA president has signaled plans to award 2 Champions League places on the basis of historical performances in Europe could be scrapped. I don't think that's a bad idea, if I'm honest with you. Timo Werner wants showdown talks with Thomas Tuchel over his future at the club. You know, a football manager, when shit man tell you they're not playing enough, get out of here. You know, I mean, there can't be showdown talks. Your role is your role. You're not 30 enough for that, really, you know. But I can't lie, if Dortmund are willing to pay the fee that they paid, I would shot him if I was Chelsea. It's one less frustrating player. Tottenham are prepared to offer De Vrij 100 bags a week. Might as well do it. Newcastle are ready to land Fabian Ruiz in the summer, leaving for us. Can't lie, this is at David Dunn looks decent. FIFA is set to allow foreign players with Russian clubs to rip up their contracts and move this season. Boy, Malcolm, get out of there, bro. Botman has rejected Newcastle and agreed to go to AC Milan. Manchester City have received a huge boost in their pursuit of Inter Milan forward Lautaro and Martinez, people. Cavani is to leave Manchester United and he looks like he could go to Spain. Weren't you supposed to go to South America? My United brethren aren't really happy with him. It seems like he gets a lot of holidays and that they're saying, and they're getting peed off, really and truly. The Premier League is considering adding a human rights component to its owners and directors test as it conducts a review of a controversial regulation. That's probably in light of what's happening in Russia and potentially with what's said when, you know, Middle Eastern owners try and buy clubs or investors try and buy clubs. PSG have never considered replacing Pochettino with Zidane, insists Leonardo. Cap City. You know, Tottenham are looking at Gavada, another FM legend. I can't lie, you stunk up the Euros, man. I'm so sure. I'll never forgive him. I'll never forget. Yeah, go and watch one. I can't remember the game, but Croatia conceded a goal. My man is playing left back. He's gone off the pitch to get a water bottle and drinking the water. In that time, a calamity has happened. Shakhtar Donetsk have confirmed that a youth coach has died defending Ukraine. A bit harsh, could have named the man's name, really and truly. The Premier League plans to insert pro-Ukraine and anti-war messages in TV coverage. Respectfully, I'm not saying that's wrong, but it's all fun. It's fun how, you know, for me, how when people want to do things, they can do it. And also, what happened to keeping football out of politics, like you tell, like you've told Marcus Rashford and Sterling and all of these guys. Again, right is right, wrong is wrong. I just think it's funny. It's funny. Just like how people wanted Zuma to lose everything he had for his cat, which I'm not saying is wrong, but certain men are racist, certain men are domestic abusers, certain men are rapists and that, and they've just got their loan thing has been torn up. No one is saying they should lose anything. Matty Cash is doing all right. He's been linked with Atletico Madrid, you know, probably the replacement for Trippier. Barcelona are eyeing up a move for Ruben Neves. I would take that if I was him, you know. But imagine being a midfielder playing under Xavi. It's like being Aaron Ramsey and that and playing under Gerrard. It's the thing of dreams, really and truly. England players will consider making a collective statement on Qatar's human rights record when they meet. Everyone's still going to play in the World Cup, so I'm not understanding this. Partizan will not be forced to dump their main sponsor. Man United are speaking to Ten Hag, like we spoke about yesterday. I mean, Aston Villa are looking at Frank Kessié and Luis Suarez, getting the boys back together. I'm here for it, man. Top flight clubs have been given the green light to relax COVID regulations. Jude Bellingham has chosen to stay at Dortmund for at least another season, according to reports. Aaron Ramsey has spent a total of 30 bags of his own money to get fit for Rangers title running. Salah was admitted he was shocked to finish 7th in the 2021 Ballon d'Or in December. I mean, you're shocked at them games there, them awards there. It's not for people playing well, you know. Let's look at some other transfer BS. Liverpool and Manchester City are keen on Lautaro Martinez, who's been stinking up the place, really. Inter Milan are interested in Marcus Thuram. He's all right. Barcelona won't rush over making a permanent decision over Adama Traore, who's impressed since his return. Neves once again is in talks with Thingy, with obviously going to Barcelona. Eyeing a move back to Spain. Forgive me if I'm wrong, but wasn't Ruben Neves at Porto? When did he ever? Was there a stopgap? I don't know, people. And Wolves and Barca have quite the relationship, so that one will get done. Jurgen Klopp has said they will not look to sell Joe Gomez. Nobody knows what will happen this year, but in the long term, we need this kind of quality. I hear him, but if I'm Gomez, you can't buy a game, you know. Graham Potter says no regrets over selling Dan Burn, who selling him has coincided with a slight dip in form. Brazy, man. Brazy. I don't really care for Messi's contract. Juventus to reopen the Barlow extension talks. Manchester United and Real Madrid are to battle for Osimhen. Yesterday, we heard Jonathan David to Real Madrid. Probably a bit of that is off if they do not land, obviously. What's his face, man? Haaland. West Ham are interested in Antoine Samayo. I am so sure you used to play for Chelsea, or Chelsea tried to buy you once upon a time. I'm sure Chelsea tried to buy you. So, yeah, he's 22. He's born in Chelsea, ironically, it said. Yeah, Chelsea tried to buy you 2 years ago, man. Yeah, Chelsea were on to him two years ago, folks. So, yeah, that's probably why I keep linking him with Chelsea. Botman is to join Milan, as we already know. Seville plan to offload De Jong in the summer. I mean, Barcelona surely are not stupid enough to sign him permanently. Roma have joined the race to sign Stuttgart star Kalajanic. I cannot say his name, but the 24-year-old's got 16 months left on his deal. Stuttgart in a relegation battle, and he looks quite decent. I'm not sure if he's ready, but he is. He's very good at taking his chances, if I'm honest with you, really. You know, last season was more so where he's getting his clout. I only know about him because obviously Mavropanos linked, and well, Mavropanos watch. Aston Villa are to listen to offers for Ollie Watkins. Gerrard's not convinced. Arsenal, can you stay clear, please? I don't think he's bad, but I don't particularly think he's good at anything. If I'm completely honest with you lot, I can't lie to you lot. I'm not convinced. I know he's an honest worker and all of that sort of stuff, but it is what it is in that regard. And where the Premier League's concerned, people, transfer talk. Premier League. you. Bayern United days numbered. Let's look at what football we have to come. Barcelona for Neves, no, Tim Pot rumour, probably. Cavani doing a Ramos early retirement package without the retirement. Barcelona got too many links, 100%. Don't forget, people, 11:30 we go live on YouTube. Make sure you've set your reminders or just hit the like button, man. Mash up the engagements for the guy. Your comment's not coming up, but you said, I support Super League because the new Champions League format is ridiculous. UEFA thinks players as money product machine. They assume they can play players 365. They already do. And are they any different? Because players will have to do all of this. They've got, FIFA do it because, the way the fixture calendar list isn't good, doesn't help them. And then there's a bunch of pointless friendlies. So FIFA, these footballing's own nations, governing bodies, UEFA, they're all bellies of the same beast, man. Nobody cares about these players. Not even the clubs that they play for. The only ones that care about them is their own mothers. That's why I always say, man, need to do what they need to do. Get your own piece. This is why I say, if anyone deserves it, it's the agents and the footballers. These guys don't care about no one, man. Barca coming in for Neves to replace Busquets. Ooh, not quite sure, but yeah, man. Man said Maguire seems like the squad don't invite out for a meal. I think they'll invite him out for a team meal. You're just not coming to the nightclub and all them sort of things. They're in it. You're not the guy for that. But then again, he might be the guy you need if you get into a fight out them sides there, really. Anyways, to round this up, looking at the Premier League action to come, folks. In terms of fixtures, are you gonna help me out? Saturday, you've got Leicester against Leeds. Jesse March watch. Again, we're going to be doing a watch along for that on Twitch. Aston Villa against Southampton. Burnley welcome Chelsea, Newcastle, Brighton, the Dan Burn derby. Norwich against Brentford. Wolves against Crystal Palace. 5:30 sees Liverpool against West Ham. Pardon me. You've got Watford away. Well, Watford welcoming Arsenal away from home. And then you've got the Manchester derby. And on the Monday, you've got Spurs Everton. So it's a techie day. I'm not dissing Watford because they did a job against United. If we're able to beat Watford and Pep Guardiola, if Pep Guardiola does his job, if Arteta and Arsenal do their job, Pep Guardiola does his job, Lampard's able to get one over on the Spuds, then I'm a happy man. Sean Dyche, just for the sake of it, do something. I'd rather Liverpool beat West Ham. West Ham, can you be taken to the slaughters by Liverpool? I hope so. That would be it for us, really. That you lot are moving mad. Ronaldo and Gavi renewals. Maguire for England being good. Odegaard's building a nice connection with Saka. Want to see him on the edge of the D, linking with other attackers. Traz. See him in the final third, man. So where players actually can be dangerous, man. Is there any coincidence Odegaard's best highlights 9 times out of 10 or when he's in that middle to final third where you see the cute flick, whoever it was against. And then he also had the cute flick. I know it's a cup game, but against West Brom and, the build-up play against Spurs and the rest of it, man. Odegaard's a 30 player, man. I like having Odegaard here. Arsenal striker news, 11:30, my guy. 11:30 we go over to YouTube. I'm back on Twitch at 4:30 regardless. If I get flopped for this collab I'm supposed to be doing, then we'll just play Football Manager. It's as simple as that. And there's hella streams over the weekends, people. So yeah, man, on that note, let me go and get this ready, people, really and truly. It's been a fantastic hour and 14 minutes because we started 10 minutes early. So yeah, 10 minutes. We start the stream 10 minutes early. It's been fantastic. One love to you guys for first and foremost taking the time to listen in whatever your morning, afternoon, evening, or night. Obviously supporting, bringing your talking points in, following and subscribing and all of that. I appreciate you guys, people. Again, I hope you've all had a progressive week. I hope you're all healthy. And yeah, I'm going to love and leave you and set up for my next live stream and whatnot. And like I said, make sure you're following and subscribing. Stay safe, stay blessed. One love for all the support. Peace.
There's always just that active red light defenders. I think it's like